Alright, what is up YouTube? This is Space Captain again with another battle report of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Today we have match to play, 3,000 points of Skaven versus the Seraphon. Today is the first game of the narrative campaign. I'm playing against one of my good buddies, and we decided to take the campaign to King of the Hill scenario. This time is going to be set up as a Kill the King and sort of a raid in the forest. On to some lore. Seraphon Old Blood Rikashk leads his kin on a mission to protect his ancient lands from the vile Ratmen. Their existence is an abomination to the creator gods and must all be eradicated. On a raid expedition, Rikashk found a Skryre outpost lightly guarded. Taking advantage of the lack of resistance, Rikashk ransacked the post, discovering it to be a Warpstone refinery and poison manufacturing plant. Feeling great pride for ridding his lands of the vile factories and evil Ratmen, his Slaan needed a trophy to warn the other rats of incoming doom. Taking the head of an engineer would be a great pleasure to an ancient Slaan. The party set fire to the bodies and refineries, taking an unconscious engineer that had been stripped of all of his weapons. On the way back from an overwhelming victory, the skink rider of a troglodyte called out to his commander. The engineer awoke and pressed a button on his power armor, sending a distress beacon to the other members of his clan. It would only be a matter of time before a war party of their own came for the now beeping and freshly unconscious warlock engineer. Rikashk knew time was precious and ordered a double step to his kin. Their Slaan will protect his kin from the Skaven death machines and will win this day in the name of the creator gods. Suddenly a shot rings out. Now they must turn and smack down the fragile Skaven or be gunned down by their death machines. Alright, so that was a little bit of lore. Here we are with the setup, Skaven on the left and Seraphon on the right. So here is his line. We have 3 units of 10 Temple Guard. We have an Old Blood in the center, a Skink Priest, and one of the Rapid Fire Salamanders. A Bastildon with a Slaan right behind him, a Old Blood with the Battle Standard, of course 2 Rapid Fire Salamanders, a Stegodon on the right, and a Priest right behind them. And that Sphinx is it's not a Sphinx. It's actually a troglodyte. So that is his line. And over here we have mine. We got a Hell Pit. We have a Packmaster with him, 2 Wind Mortars, 1 Rattling Gun, a unit of 5 Acolytes, 1 Engineer over there, 3 Jezzails, a unit of 9 Jezzails, 2 units of 3 Storm Fiends, taken as my battle line, a Packmaster apiece to go with them, a unit of 10 Acolytes, and also in the back there, that is my Arch Warlock. So we go off to turn 1, and I wind up taking the first turn. So, as you could imagine with playing a shooty list, I choose not to move. And I choose to shoot. So, I take a bunch of crock shots at everybody, and wind up doing a bit of wounds, but didn't do anything too crazy. So, he moves everybody forward, and this is right before... I mean, this is basically just turn 2. Yeah. So this would be the end of turn 2. I shimmy up my Storm Fiends to basically see if they're going to pull off a charge. If not, I'm going to be in a world of hurt. So we have some contact. I wind up doing my double shots. I take out a few Temple Guard. I take out a Salamander. I pump. I think both of my Globadiers wound up missing. and I chose, actually, I wound up forgetting to do the death globe in my first turn, so that was a little dumb. But yeah, this is the end of turn 1. There's been quite a few things dealt. Roll for turn 2, and I wind up getting the double turn. Oh my goodness. So, right here we have a bunch of movement. Basically on my turn, I wind up doing quite a bit of damage. I wind up taking out his troglodyte. I wind up oh man, yeah, I just wound up doing a lot. The fact that I was able to double shoot, I took out one of his units of Temple Guard. I have all of my Storm Fiends actually in contact with that Bastildon right in the center. All of them have Grinder Fists, so it's 2 units of 3, and they just wind up doing a ton of wounds onto the Bastildon, regardless of the fact that he just negates rend. I hit him with the Ratling gun, I hit him with Jezzails. Oh man, I hit him with the whole shebang. And wound up killing the Bastildon. I made him wind up phasing his guys over there to the side, but on his turn he shoots at the Hell Pit, and he's only able to pull off 3 wounds. We go ahead and roll off for basically turn 3, and basically I got turn 3, and this one's pretty much over. I wound up destroying the Salamander in the center, wound up popping that Bastillodon. He wound up getting his Old Blood to the left of my Storm Fiends into combat, but I just wound up being able to take whatever he dished at me, and yeah, I mean, basically if we were to play through this next turn, he would only have his Slaan left, and you know, that unit of Temple Guard. Because on my turn, since that Bastildon isn't going to be there, you know, I would have a free charge with the Storm Fiends, and because those handlers actually never attacked me, they never tried once, so we weren't in combat, and I would have a free charge at the Temple Guard. All he would have is 2 other Skink Priests and that Stegodon with a whipped Hell Pit attacking first. I don't see that turning out too well. So it was a good match. It was a fast match, especially for 3,000 points. Wow, yeah, Skryre. I mean, as destructive as Skryre is, I mean, if he had a unit of pterodactyls, he could have just completely disrupted my gun line, which was a 1/6 of my points, and you know, then what? Then what would I have done? So, wound up recovering the unconscious engineer, and pretty much wound up being a turn 2 victory. MVP, definitely the Jezzails, Mortars, and Storm Fiends. Storm Fiends, I tell you what, with the Grinder Fists, running a Skryre list with a bunch of Jezzails, like if you're able to get the Jezzails, that's worth it, because you know you're going to be missing out on a lot of punchability, and I know a lot of people bring Doom Flares and things like that, but I mean, hey, Storm Fiends. All right, and for him, the MVP would definitely be the Slaan, because he was able to he was able to keep his Stegodon alive. He put the Mystic Shield on the Stegodon. The Temple Guard, I mean, they had 2-up armor saves, and the only reason why they were failing any and taking a bunch of wounds is because it's 2 damage apiece for each wound dealt by a Jezzail team. Temple Guard only have 1 wound apiece, and if I do a mortal wound, then there's nothing that the Temple Guard could do about it. So every 6 I roll on the to hit is a mortal wound, and that just means, you know, a fifth of each Temple Guard unit it was gone. So I mean, that was pretty crazy. I didn't expect it to go down like that. I was expecting the 2-up armor save, because with a -2 rend on the Jezzails, then it would bring it up to a 50-50 chance. But like, yeah, I didn't expect I didn't expect the mortal wounds to come into play as much as they did. For whatever reason, I thought each Temple Guard had 2 wounds on them. I don't know. And then the Old Blood. Definitely scary. Definitely put a couple wounds onto the Storm Fiends. And Old Bloods are always super good fighters. Especially with the bite attack and everything like that. Like, very formidable. But, once again, thanks for watching, y'all. Like, subscribe. Let us know what we're doing wrong. Let us know what you would like for us to do differently. As far as production-wise, we're trying to get better, trying to make this more entertaining, and yeah, thanks again, y'all. Keep on wargaming.